Now that's a glug. Just the three of us sitting in a hot room, just the three of us.
Us and you. Welcome back to Crispy Boys to Men.
Yeah, it's a podcast. I'm Charles.
I'm Dylan.
We've got Ryan here with us.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
I like that you just pointed to him.
Well, point is like a. They could hear me pointing at him.
I felt it.
Yeah, exactly. It
only-
changed my voice.
It's the only breeze we've got in this fucking room right now, too.
Ryan.
My God, are we doing this on the surface of the sun or what?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
my calves are sweating.
Yeah, we're upstairs at the brewery, and it's not air conditioned up here, and it's real hot.
Louisiana in July.
I think it's 109 degrees today.
So thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Jesus
Make
Christ.
yourself comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. as comfortable as you can
It's fucking
get.
impossible, but we're gonna, we're making it.
Yeah. We're going to try.
Yeah. So today we're talking UFC Fight Island.
UFC
Yeah.
251, man. It's finally here.
This is where we add in
So
the
what-
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. I got fucking Raiden taking this one, boys.
Oh,
Raiden in the
I'm
main
going-
event. Yeah.
I'm going Liu Kang.
It's hard to fuck with Raiden. You know what I mean?
No. When I first watched the Avengers and they were like, Thor, God of Thunder, I said, y'all ain't watching the right movie.
Raiden doesn't need a hammer.
Called
The
for-
casting was garbage, right?
Yeah.
Like the
Liu
entire,
Kang was good.
yeah.
That was pretty bad.
Liu Kang
No,
was
Liu
good.
Kang was in
And
the
the guy
newest
with four
game.
arms.
Yeah, in the new Gora. Fuck
The
yeah.
computer generator guy.
In the newest game, Mortal Kombat 11, they have the actor that played in that first Mortal Kombat movie as Shang Tsung. He does all the voicing
Ooh, that's
in
good.
that new game. So just super nostalgic. It's
That's
fucking
dope.
hilarious to see.
They
him do
got
it,
11
man.
Mortal Kombats.
Yeah. They got more than that, Leo.
I mean, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody decided it would be great to put out an RPG style game with fucking Mortal Kombat. Hopefully they're,
that don't
hopefully
sound
they
too bad,
passed
actually.
away. That was a fucking
Hopefully
ringer for a terrible idea.
Hopefully they pass away.
That would be the only race where I would actually vote for Trump. You know what I mean? Was if he was running against the guy that created the Mortal Kombat RPG.
So
He's probably not dead.
we got to fingers crossed.
I
So
apologize to your family.
I just
get
want
it.
throw
Boxing.
fucking bows,
Yeah,
boys.
dude.
Those some moans.
I'm telling you, throw a tire iron in the middle of the ring. Make it a lot more interesting.
Yeah, I've been thinking about the introduction of weapons for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the
dude.
UFC.
Like those old stuff you'd be in the middle of a match, and then like somebody would throw something in the middle of the ring. You're like, oh hell,
A 2x4?
Yeah.
Done.
I'm gonna go root around under the stage. Oh hell yeah, I got a ladder, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It was always crazy to see like all the different weapons that were just randomly stored under the fucking ring.
You get a
Like,
bat
come
with
on,
barbed
guys.
wire. Why would you ever need this?
Who made that?
Yeah.
Hey, protection, man.
And then you just smoking some guy with a damn bat with barbed wire on it. Like, yeah, it's just hurting him a little bit. It not just completely
He's like,
tearing his skin apart. Yeah.
And then he's like, one counter move. Now I feel great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's been bashed.
hit me with a ladder all day.
Yeah.
I do not want to be hit with that bat.
His fucking brains have been bashed in with a barbed wire bat, but he's only got the small cut on his
Yeah,
forehead
Yeah.
that he decided to do himself.
All right, so we are sitting here with Ryan Vite.
Yeah, random fight nerd. For
Yeah.
sure. I was one of those kids that, my dad took me to Blockbuster when I was 9, 10 years old, and I talked him into renting me, UFC 2 and 3 on VHS.
Trying to see the Iceman.
Dude, no, this was way before that. So
That shows how much I know.
This is
I'm
the
like
guy with
Chuck
one
Liddell.
boxing glove.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, this is when they were just getting the shit fucking handled, man.
They're in a cage, but
Yeah, it's when John McCain was running around the country saying that it was human cockfighting, literally trying to get it shut down.
I love that.
Yeah, I hate that.
I wish they would call it human cockfighting instead of UFC.
Well, what's funny is it's like after they had kind of gotten it all legalized in most of the states, John McCain, when he was running for president, came back out and was like, yeah, I kind of fucked up. UFC's great.
That's my bad. My bad on that one.
It's like when you look at this kind of fighting, the way that it's set up versus boxing, it's like not only is it infinitely more exciting to me just because of the ways to win and lose, but it's also one of those things to where, you get knocked down, they don't bring you back up for a fucking 10 count. You know what I mean? I mean, people die in boxing rings.
Oh, yeah.
Every year.
It's literally, you can legally kill someone.
Before, they just looked at it as it was such a violent thing, because there was no real rules. There was like no small joint manipulation. You couldn't kick to the sack, thank God.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like, wow,
you know what I mean?
You're a dirtbag if you do
right,
that.
but I mean, we're talking no gloves, no weight limit, no nothing. There was a while in UFC when it went to, from those early days, and then they had what's called like the blackout period, which was like they couldn't get any kind of television deals. They lost the rights to do pay-per-view and stuff. So there was like 5 years, man, where like you couldn't find the UFC. And around 2005, that's kind of when I got back in the game, just because Ultimate Fighter came out. They got that deal with Spike TV.
Hell yeah.
And it was just like, now. So they've gone from, Spike TV, so a smaller cable channel, something like that. They had brokered a deal with Fox Sports 1, which is a big step up for them, but now they're with the worldwide leader, ESPN. And that was a recent acquisition by them, and it was just, dude, they're just killing it. And it's the only sport right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only sport that it's probably going to be for a while. I know that football's probably going to come back at a certain capacity. Baseball's coming back. But right now, they're like, we're going to test you, and we're throwing you in this ring, and look, just don't contract corona while you're in the ring.
Yeah.
Which is...
It's crazy. I mean, you look at everything. They're out. So this is going to be the Fight Island card, UFC 251, and it was marketed as like this tropical paradise. This Enter the Dragon kind of scenario where all these fighters from all over the world are going to come to this tropical island.
Fucking Luke Cage coming in.
Exactly, dude, and just fight to the fucking death. And it turns out it's a Yaz Island in Abu Dhabi, which is a fucking desert. So there's nothing tropical about it.
No, Abu Dhabi's hot as fuck.
Yeah,
Dude. They have dust storms.
Right, and it's a man-made island.
Yeah.
So it's like not even some shit. But it's just, the fact that Dana White was able to do this, it's insane. It just shows you the kind of...
How much illegal shit's going on there, you think?
Oh, I have no idea.
I gotta love it. Everything. If you can think of it and it's illegal, they're doing it.
Well, we had, not to just get right into it, but I mean, we had Gilbert Burns that was supposed to be in the main event. I mean, the reason that he's not there is because dude contracted COVID.
Get the fuck. Dude.
Yeah, Dean Thomas is one of the coaches for a fighter that's fighting on Saturday as well. He contracted it. Paul Felder, the guy that's going to be calling the fight, was put in contact with Dean Thomas and is now not calling the card anymore. So he's about to go back to the States to do another 14 days in quarantine.
Oh, Jesus.
So they're just having people fall off left and right. And, the craziest thing about this is that when Gilbert Burns got it, for the several weeks prior to that, it was all over the news and ESPN, Jorge Masvidal screaming about fighter pay, and he had every right to do it. They get paid crickets compared to, being able to swing a fucking baseball bat.
The boxing, and like even compared to boxing, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it's unequal, and they want to unionize, but the only union would only help the fighters that aren't in the main card, because like we were saying earlier, the main card is the only person getting that big paycheck. Like,
well, I think some of Conor McGregor's cards, though, I mean, with the UFC, just to give you an idea of the difference, is he's making around $8 to $14 million a fight, and that's a lot that goes into that. Pay-per-view points, and then not the sponsorship with Proper 12 whiskey, and all that stuff. Which he's just selling a fucking buttload of it. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Have you tasted it?
No,
it's not good.
No,
it's not good. I thought about fighting Conor McGregor after I tried.
Oh god, that left. Be careful, bro. Knock your beard off, dog.
Hey, dude. As long as I don't have to have that taste in my mouth, fucking knock me out.
You'll take it. Conor McGregor, he had, in order for him to be able to make that, proverbial fuck you money, $100 million, he had to go to boxing.
Yeah.
And he had to fight Floyd Mayweather. And so, you look at one fight, I think he lasted 10 rounds in that fight.
Yeah.
10 rounds in a boxing match. Oh, yeah, he was dead. To make $100 million when, that just easily eclipsed his entire MMA career.
Oh, yeah, easily. And it was not entertaining. It was not fun to watch.
I'm kind of a homer, so I had a good time with it, man. I really did. I'm always, I felt like Conor could, he's got power enough in his hands to land one.
If he hit him a couple good times, dude, but Floyd was just dancing, bro.
Floyd's the man. I mean, regardless of what you think about him as a human being.
Bad guy.
Absolutely. But as far as his boxing,
He's the
credentials, he's the greatest.
Yeah, he's the greatest.
He's one of the best boxers of all time.
We're going to jump straight into this. We're going to do 6 fights, including the main event. And we just really want to get your opinion on them just to see how you're doing. Because Charles and I know nothing about UFC. These names that are on this list. So you want to get your opinion, just go down the list and kind of tell us our plus, tell us our minus, tell us what you think. Tell us who you take, even if it's like a crazy differential.
There's a bunch of live dogs this coming up weekend. The main cards, it's top heavy. I mean, it's an absolute barn burner of a card for sure, especially with this late addition to the main event with old Street Jesus himself, Mr. Jorge Masvidal. But yeah, I mean, we can start at the prelims. The main event for the prelims for UFC 251 is going to be Volkan Oezdemir versus Jiri Prochazka. Volkan Oezdemir, excellent fighter. He's been in several situations where he was contending for the title. What's crazy, though, is that I believe that this is Jiri Prochazka's first fight in the UFC. He used to fight for a company in Asia called Ryzen, and that's a huge organization out there, and he's had their belt for his weight class, which is 205. And so he's had their belt for, I believe, the last 3 of his last fights.
This isn't a heavyweight fight.
No, this is 205 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, so light heavy. So yeah, Volkan Oezdemir versus Jiri Prochazka. Oezdemir is 6'2", Jiri 6'2". Both of them are coming in at 205 pounds. Given that they make weight, Jiri has won the last 3 fights by stoppage due to strikes. And he's got about, it looks like from the tail of the tape that he's got about a 5-inch reach advantage on Volkan, which is just crazy. Especially too when they're the same height. That's pretty weird that the reach would be so different with them being both 6'2". So we got Oezdemir versus Jiri, and we're looking at the odds here. So Volkan is a -60 versus Jiri, who is a +140. I'm going to go with Jiri on this.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of experience with him. I think that Oezdemir has definitely been in deeper water as far as the competition and stuff that he's fought. But I think Jiri's coming into the UFC at the first time, trying to make a statement.
Yeah.
And he seems like a very...
He's trying to hunt.
Yeah, he seems like a powerful guy that can get the job done. And like I said, too, he's had the 205 belt in Ryzen, that Asian MMA organization, and they're not chumps over there. I mean, so he's, a former champion coming in to fight a guy that's been in the contention for the UFC light heavyweight belt for a while now.
I heard the Rising people, if you lose, they'll kill the loser.
I hope not.
That's what I heard.
No, man.
Hot news.
Hot news. The first fight of the main card for UFC 251 at Fight Island, and that is Amanda Ribas versus Paige Van Zant. This one stands out to me ridiculously just because the odds alone. They've got Ribas at -1,000.
Oh my God.
Which is just, in the fight game, it's so hard to see how, she would get that big of advantage, but she is just by far the favorite in this fight. Paige Van Zant +650.
They just assume she's going to walk in the ring and be like, hey, I quit.
Yeah, so the Paige Van Zant, this is her last fight on her UFC contract.
Okay.
She made a bunch of money dancing with the stars. She's fought twice in the last 2 years, so she hasn't been very active. She's got a decent record. Let's see here.
If you're a betting person, which we all are, go out there and put 100 bones down on Van Zant. Just to do it.
Yeah, just
if you're going to lose $100, that's
absolutely.
That's fine.
Yeah, she knocks you out, it's over, man.
The upside is just ridiculous.
Right, absolutely, man.
Shit, put $10 down, dude. Put $10 down.
Take it. Right.
Make some money.
I mean, at +650, I'll take it.
Yeah.
You rarely see odds like that in the UFC. Rarely. And that's why I guess it stuck out so much to me.
That's the one fight I want to watch just because I think Van Zant. I'm going to bet on Van Zant just because.
Wouldn't be wrong. All right, so moving on. We've got Jessica Andrade versus Thug Rose Namajunas.
Is that her nickname or is that her real name?
That's her. Hopefully it's on her birth certificate. Thug.
Hell yeah.
So Rose is coming off, she's been in contention with fighting for the belt there, the 125 weight class. So Jessica Andrade, Jessica Andrade 5'1" to Rose Namajunas 5'4". Thug Rose has got about a 3-inch reach advantage there for the 115-pound weight division, women's strawweight. They fought before. Jessica Andrade is coming off of a loss. She got knocked out in the first round by Weili Zhang, who is this
great name.
crazy Chinese fighter at 115 pounds. That's just a little tank, man. She's just throwing bones. Crazy. So she ended up knocking out Jessica Andrade. Rose Namajunas coming off of a loss, I believe. Training partner Pat Barry and husband. Pat Barry, mainstay in the heavyweight division, came over from kickboxing. So, they've been training. She's got unbelievable footwork, stand up, just phenomenal. Yeah, so Rose's last fight was actually with Jessica Andrade, and she's coming off of a loss there. She got body slammed on her fucking neck in the second round. But having said that, in the first round of that fight, Rose was just picking her apart on the feet. It's not even close.
Really?
Andrade really needs to be able to get in close, and Namajunas was really able to use her footwork and establish her jab to just keep her at length, so that she was never able to come in there with the double leg and get her down until she was. And it was scary, man. That was a scary one. So we got Thug Rose coming back to try to get into title contention again.
Somebody slams you on your neck, I'm coming in for blood.
Yeah, you got to imagine, man. But what's so crazy is just, it's her confidence there. I guess you could be able to take all the confidence in the world, having pieced her up like that on the feet for the first round. I just, with the COVID and everything, it's like, and I think that's probably the bigger question about a lot of this card. It's like, how well have they been able to adapt their training methods?
Yeah.
You got Max Holloway, for instance, who's in the co-main event. They said in Hawaii that if you got caught at the gym or you got caught out, and they were arresting people.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? So he's come out and said, whether you believe it or not, who knows, but he's come out and said that he's fucking trained over Zoom. At the first time that he met with his coaches was in Las Vegas to get on that flight to Abu Dhabi.
That's fucking nuts.
So is he playing the game? Or is he really I hope so, man.
Who would you take in that fight? Namajunas? That's who I'm leaning towards. Just because I think she's coming for blood.
Yeah.
And her name's Thug. I like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Namajunas here. And that's, me picking a favorite. They're close. It's almost a pick 'em. Andrade at plus 175, Namajunas at minus 200. I did not see anything that Andrade could really do to Namajunas before that kind of freak slam. Like you would get caught. A lot of people, you just get caught with that one punch and your night's over.
Split second kind of thing.
Yeah, this thing was, she got caught. And, Andrade slammed her on her head and got the knockout.
Did she clean knockout when she hit her head?
Just about, man. CTE City. Rose is one of the best fighters at 115. She's coming off. She had beat the champion at the time, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. She's a Polish fighter. She had ruled the 115-pound division. I think she had 5 title defenses.
Shit.
And out of nowhere, Rose comes in there and knocks her out twice.
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping one of these fighters gets sick and Ronda Rousey has to step in.
Ronda Rousey is with the WWE now.
I don't care, dude.
Yeah. She got knocked out by...
I felt so bad for her.
I didn't feel bad for her, man. But she was such a bastard after that.
She really was.
She was such a bastard.
Yeah, she really...
You have to know going into these fights that anything can happen. And there's nothing better when a champion gets knocked out to come back and say, you know what? I'll show up to the press conferences. We'll talk about it. Like, I got caught. I fucked up. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. And come back stronger.
Yeah.
She just left.
Yeah.
Holly Holmes head kicked her into oblivion.
Oh, dude, I'm going to say this. The whole fight, she looked just like she did not know where she was.
Right.
She was like, I'm in a fucking nightmare. I need to get out. And then
Holly Holmes... Her striking never got to that level that obviously her judo was.
Yeah.
But she, for whatever reason, she had a coach at the time that kind of hyped her up and felt like, hey, you can stand with anybody.
Nope.
Which, that was the worst advice I've ever... I always think about that too, when we're talking about some of these female fighters. It's like, some of them are just so badass. And I just think in my head, that poor guy that just tries to fuck with them in the bar.
Oh, you know it, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just get fucking annihilated.
Yeah.
Just going to talk to, Rose Namajunas not knowing who she is and trying to hit on her.
Grabbing her ass or something.
Yeah. Just getting murdered.
You're about to wake up in a coma, dog.
Absolutely. I just got killed at Pat O'Brien's for trying to molest Rose Namajunas.
Yeah. She punched me in the windpipe.
Right. I'm still suffering. I can't remember the name of the woman, and I'm going to just apologize to her, but she's a prolific UFC fighter. And she had a male, online talking shit. And finally, like, she went out and invited him to the gym.
I'm gonna bust your ass,
and
boy.
busted his fucking ass.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he's one of these guys who's like, oh, I'm a guy, you know, there's none of these women in the UFC can fuck with me.
I'm
'cause
stronger
I'm a
than
man.
them.
I'm
Yeah.
just naturally stronger.
No.
And then the shit hits the ground. And then that's what jiu-jitsu is, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The weight doesn't matter. If you're skilled, you can snatch an arm. But that was when this was first happening, when they were first, allowing the women to fight in the UFC, which I think is beautiful.
Right now, I want to thank Ryan because he brought with him some No Left Turn Unstoned. It is a peach IPA with Azaka and Mosaic hops. So good, so soft.
So soft,
You get that beautiful hops in there. What's the alcohol percentage on it? 6%.
6%.
You could drink this all day.
It hits harder than a 6, though, man. I'm
It
gonna tell
does.
you.
It's so good. And where can they get this right now?
We got it all over New Orleans. Dornax is always a good place. Working on getting it into Total Wines as
Hell yeah.
well. 504 Craft Beer Reserve. You can never go wrong there, man. Especially if you're around Mid-City. That's the jam. I talked to Patrick and those guys. As part of our Lanyap series for the month of July.
Beer's delicious. We appreciate Ryan. Ryan does work for Nola Brewing Company.
Yeah.
We enjoy their beer,
Thanks,
but not
man.
as much as we enjoy you.
Oh, you sweet bastard.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely, man.
I really
We're super
appreciate
excited.
it. And thanks so much for letting me come on and talk about some fucking fights. I love
First,
it. It's my passion, man.
well, I would say the third guest, but the first two are our wives, so they're with us and they have no choice.
There you go.
But we appreciate you.
That's called kidnapping.
Yes. Well, also a funny story. Ryan, I've known. How long have we known each other?
Couple years,
Years.
yeah.
I have made it a mission of mine to never let Ryan meet my wife.
Right, which is kind of awful.
It is kind of awful, but
Yeah.
now it's just become a running joke, which I
Right.
find hilarious. But Ryan will meet my wife in the next few weeks.
Hope so.
Maybe we'll
For a
see.
lot of great stories. Sounds like a kid.
Oh yeah, she's definitely the
She
better
puts up
part.
with your ass, man, and I've seen pictures of y'all's daughter too, who's absolutely beautiful. Y'all killed it on that.
Yeah.
Man. You know,
She puts up
good
with
job.
me. Little
You got
plug
to
there.
meet my wife today.
I did get to meet
not my wife. We're not married yet, but we're engaged.
Yeah.
I guess kind of.
I've met her
Not
before, but
officially yet. I'm sure still trying to get a ring and shit, but she's awesome. So, and I kind of feel bad that you've met her.
Twice.
Yeah, which is fucked up. You know,
Yeah,
'cause
it's
you
fine.
just hide your wife.
I don't hide her,
You
but
hide her, dude.
she's just
Yeah.
too good for this world.
I'm almost thinking something's wrong.
Like she's not real.
Like that, you can't.
I'm just doctoring shit.
Just random.
Yeah. So we're gonna jump back into the fights. We just wanted to kind of give you a little backstory on us.
All right, so where are we at? We have Peter Yan and Jose Aldo.
Hell yeah.
That's for the vacant bantamweight title. I am so fucking excited about this fight, man. I've been a big Jose Aldo fan for his entire career, going back through his first couple of battles with Uriah Faber in the WEC. You know, those are just some crazy. He's just an amazing guy, man. It's crazy to me how his age, to be honest, because he's just got so much mileage on him. The
How old
guy's
is he?
He is 33, you know, which in the fight game is a little bit older. Peter Yan comes in at 27. So Peter Yan's definitely going to be the fresher fighter. Peter Yan's current record 14-1.
Doesn't lose.
No, does not lose, and he's definitely like kind of the golden child.
I don't like the name Peter, so I'm not going with him. I'm
It's
going with Aldo.
spelled though. It's spelled Petr.
It might be Petra.
Yeah,
Petra?
he's from Russian. It's called the Serbian Gangster, but he.
Oh hell yeah! Never
Yeah.
mind. I'm going with him, Charles. Sorry.
Over Jose, huh? They're both 5'6". This is for the vacant 135-pound belt, rather. Reach is a little bit different here. Peter is definitely one of the best pure boxers, and so his reach is 67. Jose's going to have a 3-inch reach advantage there. Jose's record 28-6. So with most of those losses coming within the last couple of years.
So he's been getting his brakes fucking pushed in.
Nobody's just crushed him.
A lot of
But
decisions.
he's got some mileage. Yeah, some decisions. He's coming off of a great fight, which a lot. So he's getting this title shot coming off of a loss, which is actually pretty crazy. Marlon Moraes, who's a fucking animal, who he fought, he's probably got the heaviest hands in the 135-pound division, I would say. So yeah, this is supposed to be. I mean, realistically, this is supposed to be Peter Yan's coming out party. I mean, they're matching him up against a legend, a true legend.
Do you think they want him to beat the piss out of Aldo?
Absolutely,
You think
I think
they
they
want
do. Yeah, I think that they want to build Peter Yan's name off of Jose, and I mean that's just how they do. You know, a lot of these older fighters, you know, that have been previous champions and stuff like that. That's kind of their way to give back. I mean, it's sad, but it's so rare that these fighters don't get out on top.
Yeah.
You know, they don't
Like, you just don't
retire
leave.
with the belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They stick around a little too long, you know? It's a crazy match. I think Peter Yan's pure boxing is what really stands out to me. I think the age, too. I think he's just got less mileage.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have the speed advantage. I mean, how do you count out just that old dog, you know, Jose? I mean,
I'm going with Jan
he's
just
back.
because I cannot lose another bet to Charles.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. So Jan is going to be the favorite for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Odds are looking at Peter Yan is a minus 240 for Jose's plus 200. I think, you know, obviously Jose wins. He wins the fucking bantamweight belt, and it's a resurgence in his career. Peter Yan, I think the UFC's trying to use Jose's name and his legend as a stepping stone for Yan.
Yeah, I think the only name I knew in here was Masvidal and Aldo. So that's the only names that I recognized as being
Right.
not a. I mean, I'm a fan, but also
You're casual.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll watch it if it's on.
Right, right. I seek it out. So that's kind of the difference. But that's, you know, that just goes to show you, just goes to speak for kind of Jose Aldo's legend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the dude's been around. He's a badass.
Yeah.
Like people tuned in, you know, even casual fans tuned in to fucking watch him fight, and they recognize that name.
It's gonna be sad when he loses.
I know. I'm going to be sad when
It's
he
gonna be like a
retires.
Rocky loss, you know.
Yeah, I mean, neither of these guys are giving up, you know?
I hope first punch Aldo gets knocked out, never fights
Well, that's
again.
what happened with Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
He got knocked out by Conor in, 11 seconds?
praise God.
A fucking left hand from...
Conor's got the nastiest left.
Dude, it's so bad.
I've seen. I don't know if it was his last fight with that guy Cowboy, which I don't know who the fuck that is. I just
Cowboy
know.
Cerrone's a fucking animal, dude.
So they had
He's
like
no
a
joke.
pregame of like Conor in the back, and he literally does the same exact like duck move, goes up, and just hits him with the left. Like in the back, he was practicing this. 10 minutes later, he relates it to the, and he just knocks him out.
Well, I think Conor's thing was his mental warfare. You know, what he wants to do is he wants to piss you off
Oh, yeah.
so badly that when it's time to lock that cage, you know, and really get down to business,
You get mad.
that you get mad, you see red, and you fly across the fucking cage at him.
And then he's just poised.
waiting, cocked, and fucking ready to fight that demon of a
Oh,
left hand right to your fucking temple. You gotta quit hitting old people, bro.
Should have hit him harder.
Yeah, you know, if you're gonna hit a 60-year-old man, you
Yeah,
gotta
if-
knock him out,
if
right?
you're gonna have
Clean
to-
off the bar stool.
Yeah, if you're
The
gonna
dude just fucking went on with his day.
just a little pop.
Yeah, but I'm a little woke now.
Well, he's Irish, you
I'll have
know.
another
So
shot of whatever the fuck is not proper.
besides that shit,
Yeah,
that's
do you
swill.
have any- Yeah, you have a seltzer.
I'll take a Truly.
Yeah, no doubt. He truly didn't get knocked out. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. You know?
Dude, Irish people are built different.
I'm telling you.
They
something.
just are.
And I'm a big fan of the guy, but like, you can't just go around hitting senior citizens.
I mean, you can though.
I mean,
I mean, it's frowned upon,
Pretty
but
dick
you
move.
you can do it though.
pretty fucking dick. Yeah.
Mike Tyson punches you.
You need a gun, dude.
Yeah, I think I don't even know if a gun will work. Have you seen him lately?
Oh, dude, he's ripped.
God.
He's ripped. You know who he's supposed to come out and fight? They're talking about rumors.
Who?
Holyfield.
I'm tuning the
Yeah,
pin for that.
Holyfield
boy.
Tyson in their 50s.
I'm taking Tyson all day.
He actually challenged, not officially, but you know, we were talking about the difference in fighter pay. He made a comment online and called out John Jones. It was like, he basically said the only way that John Jones is ever going to make that Conor McGregor $100 million
Yeah,
is
as
to
if
come
he-
fight me.
Mike Tyson.
In
But
a
here's the
boxing
thing,
ring.
dude. You lose to Mike Tyson, it ain't gonna be because he danced around you. It's gonna be
No.
because he beat the brakes
Because
off
he
of you.
fucking broke your neck.
Yeah, he hit me with a 16-pound glove, but also broke every rib in my body.
Yeah, insane body work.
He's gonna
And
kill
he
you.
just looks so fucking real. He on roids, right?
I mean, dude, we go back to this, Charles and I, every time. Why aren't you on roids? That's always what I
No,
think.
I agree. I agree.
Hey.
Unless I mean, the UFC with USADA and all this shit. I mean, that's the thing. You know, I guess I'm in the camp where I'm just like, you know what? Just let them all use steroids.
Yeah, just
But
do
I
it.
just don't want to see him die. You know,
Oh, I
I don't
do.
want to see him. And
I do.
You see
seen
him
more.
introduce weapons.
Who wants some more? Toss a brick in there.
Yeah, we got Peter Yan versus Jose Aldo with a fucking bow staff.
Yeah,
A couple
exactly.
of knives.
Yeah, I love it.
You can't hit fucking Rose Namajunas in the head with some nunchucks. Like this, the closest thing I think to that was like those early UFC days.
Next fight.
So here we go. We're moving into the co-main event. We got Alexander Volkanovski, Alexander the Great, fighting one of my favorite fighters, Holloway, for the featherweight titles, the rematch. 145 pounds.
So they fought each other already.
Yes, that was the last fight for both of them. Alexander edged out a decision. The first 3 rounds were very much so Alexander Volkanovski just wearing out the fucking legs of Max Holloway. Max has got the height advantage there by quite a bit. It's got the reach advantage, so it's very much so one of those fights that Volkanovski is just going to continually try to get in. Having watched their previous bout a couple times in the last week, just don't see, for me, any real potential for Max Holloway to finish this.
You think he's going to lose?
I do, man. I do, and I hate to say it, but I do. I think having watched their last fight, I don't see any. Not to say that Max couldn't make an adjustment for sure, because he's one of the greatest fighters at 145 pounds ever, and he's got the length. But I just don't see him. Number one, I don't see him knocking out Alexander, and I don't see him being able to take Alex down and hold him down. If you go back to when Alexander fought Chad Mendes is very much so like one of these guys that can fight. He's a wrestler, trains with Uriah Faber and those guys. And if anybody was going to be able to hold him down, it was going to be Chad Mendes. He just couldn't do it. So what's crazy about Volkanovski is he trains in New Zealand at the same camp, City Kickboxing, with Eugene Behrman as a head coach and Israel Adesanya, who's the 185-pound champ. So yeah, I'm definitely Alexander Volkanovski sitting at a -220 versus Holloway at the plus 80. And it's a rematch for the featherweight 145-pound strap. Just think Alex gets it done. I don't see it. And as much as I love Max, watching some of the interviews that he's done, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, like whether he's playing the game or not. You know, he's saying that the first time he saw his coaches for this training camp was when he got to Vegas to fly to Abu Dhabi.
Can't believe it.
Can't believe it.
No.
You know, he said he did
that's
all of
dangerous.
He said he didn't do any sparring, and he did all of his training over Zoom.
Nah.
Right. But here's the thing. So I guess there's kind of two trains of thought here. A lot of these fighters are coming out and saying, hey, you know, when I was early in my career, I used to spar all the time, dude. We used to have these gym wars where we get in there. And so you had guys that had injuries, guys that had been knocked out in training camp.
They're going to be healthier.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So is Max at a place to where, like, he's just fully energized? You know what I mean? The dude's a beast. You know, there's no doubt about it. I just, like we were talking about, man, so he's 28. One awesome fact about Alexander Volkanovski. One awesome fact. So he's fighting for the 145-pound strap. He was a professional rugby player. In at 230. Facts.
He lost
almost
so
90-something fucking pounds. And he's just slamming them into fucking Max's. Max is 5'9". Volkanovski coming in at 5.5 feet.
5.5?
Yeah. Still, see, but this is weird to me. Is Volkanovski, they still give the reach advantage to. So the reach of his 71.5 inches reach for Volkanovski to 69 with Max Holloway. Max Holloway is fucking 4 inches taller than this dude.
Dude's got some limb. Boy.
Yeah, man. You know, so that's going to be a great rematch. It went the distance last time. Max Holloway won. To me, in my opinion, Max Holloway won rounds 4 and 5, and it just wasn't enough to get it done. Having watched the fight, like I said, I just don't see what Max can bring in order to just shut the lights off with Alex. And if that's the case, I feel like it's going to go to decision again, obviously with Alexander being the winner there.
And then the big news. The
big fucking news, man.
Ryan tells me don't look at your goddamn phone for 2 days.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of surprise you with this, because especially as a more of a casual fan, and the way that this guy's been able to build his name over the past year.
So fast.
Yeah, so for the fucking welterweight strap, 170 pounds, you're looking at
Masvidal looks much bigger than 175 pounds.
Is it 170? Main event for UFC 251 in Abu Dhabi for Fight Island is Kamaru Usman versus Street Jesus Gangbred Jorge Masvidal, man.
Gangbred? Is that what you just said?
Gangbred.
Yeah, I don't like that nickname.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It is, but
it's not good.
He's just. And here's the thing, man. This is the fight that was previously booked for this card. Over the last several weeks, Jorge has made it very clear through all fucking media outlets that he could possibly get on that he wouldn't take the fight for the amount of money that the UFC was offering. So, and this is a guy that was coming off of his win over a giant pay-per-view with Nate Diaz for the BMF title, which is just a random fucking thing that the UFC made up to sell a pay-per-view. Me being such a fucking...
You bought it.
Yeah, I was in.
Yeah,
I was all in, dude. I just wanted to see that fight. And, so now we got the BMF title holder versus the champ, Kamaru Usman. One thing that I'll say, Jorge Masvidal brought in a guy to his camp called Bo Nichols. You probably don't know the guy, but standout Penn State wrestler.
Okay.
I think he won the NCAA title 4 times.
Okay.
So basically,
he's okay.
Every fucking time he competed,
he won.
He took it home. So this dude's a wrestler. He's the man, and that's who Jorge has been. But guy took they got the deal squared away. Jorge said that he was pretty much satisfied with the money and took a fucking fight like an animal that he is on 6 days' notice. 3 days to announce it just because of all the COVID testing and everything like that. Coming out of his mouth, he weighed 191 pounds. So he will have to lose in order to make weight, to make this a true title fight, he will have to get down to 107. So we're looking at a guy that we don't know his training. We don't know how long since he's been in a real camp. We don't know if he's going to just be able to plop this weight off and really make this a title defense for Kamaru. We don't know. I mean, there's just so many...
it's just water weight.
Yeah, and hopefully 20 pounds? Oh,
that's a lot of weight.
That's a lot of weight to lose, man. Kamaru Usman, man, I mean, 16-1.
So he doesn't lose very often.
No, I mean, not at all. He's coming off of the
Nigerian Nightmare.
Yeah.
God, that's so good.
He's coming off of a win at Colby Covington. He broke his jaw before.
Hell yeah.
Kamaru fucked him up. Just an interesting fight, man. I mean, you look at it on paper and it's hard for me to see, no matter how much training Jorge Masvidal does, will he be able to get up with that very close to Olympic caliber wrestling of Kamaru, man. I mean, and that's just crazy. There's a 2-inch reach advantage for Kamaru. Kamaru, if he decides to stand with Jorge Masvidal, will get knocked out. So, how this is going to go. I mean, I think Kamaru is really going to be able to, if he can, kind of get in and take Masvidal down and just grind him, sexually for fucking 5 rounds.
Something's going to have to happen.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, it just reeks of a decision for Usman. Jorge Masvidal, on the other hand, if he clips him, he becomes legend.
Yeah.
Overnight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would literally be the stamp that Jorge Masvidal would need at 35 years old in his fighting career. He's fought all over the world. He's fought the best of the best, a couple of different weight classes. If he can win the welterweight strap the last 2 years of his fighting career, would probably be one of the most prolific that we've seen.
Oh shit.
And not saying that like because of like his style of competition, even though he's coming off of a knockout of Darren Till. Mm-hmm. He's coming off of the fastest knockout of all time with Ben Askren, the knee.
How many? Oh, that knee's nasty.
The knee. And then
that's so embarrassing, dude.
And then he just beat the fucking brakes off of Nate Diaz for the BMF belt. So
Nate
he's
Diaz looks
riding
like
crazy.
a pump.
He's just skinny. But Jorge is riding a 3-fight win streak, man, against some really game opponents.
So if you were going, like, if you're a bet man,
I would say Usman by decision.
This is the one fight I'm going to disagree with you, just because Street Jesus.
I don't blame you, man. I don't have very many favorite fighters in the game anymore. Mm-hmm. I used to. I just have gotten I've gotten more involved with the sport as far as just like I love the matchup more than I do, the particular fighter.
Yeah, the competition of it all.
Right. But Jorge Masvidal is...
He's got passion, bro.
He does, man. He's a dog. But, so here's the, going into this fight, though, Kamaru feels like that the whole narrative is switched. Because Jorge Masvidal comes in and, it's one of those things where because it's 6 days' notice, he's almost supposed to lose.
Yeah, it seems like you're going to lose no matter what.
Right?
Like, there's no win.
So if he does lose, he was supposed to lose, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's really no sweat off his back.
Right.
I had 6 days' notice.
Yeah, and I don't think his stock drops as far as like public opinion.
No, I think
he
look tough as shit still.
But if Jorge manages,
there's only positive for him
to knock this dude out.
Whoever his PR person was, genius.
Yeah.
Because this can only end up good for him.
Yeah.
Because, like you're saying, if he loses, it comes down to everybody gives him the benefit of the doubt. Anybody, he's still going to get a title chance.
I think. Yeah, exactly. And I think that, so if he wins, he gets the fucking title and becomes legend. If he loses, he was supposed to lose.
Yeah, and then he still gets another shot.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. Whereas I feel like a lot of people aren't giving Usman enough credit in taking the fight.
Yeah, I mean, because
he's putting his fucking belt on the line.
To fight a guy that you could possibly lose. There's no positive for him, really.
There's no positive. If you beat Masvidal
It doesn't
Kamaru.
matter.
I think no, but I think there is upside to Kamaru really beating Masvidal.
It has to be a show, though.
It's got to be a show.
You might have to knock him out.
You can't, right?
Or submit him or
something decisive, right?
But if you lose by just decision, it's like he beat him, but like he still, dude, he had 6 days. It's always going to go back to Masvidal only had 6 days to prepare, and he still almost won.
Right.
You knock him clean out. It's
does
like
does Kamaru have that chip on his shoulder where he's going to go out there and finish this dude who came off the fucking couch?
If I'm a UFC fighter and I am training for fucking months to do this, and this guy steps off his fucking couch and he's like, I can fight this guy. I'm gonna beat the brakes off of this dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make him wish he never got off that fucking couch.
There's beef there too.
Yeah.
There's beef. Last year's Super Bowl, they were on Media Row together.
Those two dudes?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's why he took the fight.
They were on Media Row together, and they got into it. You know, one thing that stands out to me is Jorge Masvidal. His record is 35-13. Right. So a lot of people, like, as of 3 years ago, just called him a middle of the road kind of journeyman fighter.
Yeah.
I think there's about 3 fights on his record that easily could have gone his way, that he lost some shit decisions. But I mean, the guy's got more fights than Kamaru has.
That's so many
has
fights.
Wins. Like, the guy has more wins than Kamaru has fights.
Yeah.
You know? Who knows?
It's a dangerous decision, but honestly, it just makes for good television.
100%.
Now, this is on ESPN, normal ESPN.
So the prelims are going to be on normal ESPN. And this is going to be the only, and then you'll have to go to ESPN Plus where you can purchase the pay-per-view.
Okay, so if you don't have ESPN Plus, I would suggest getting it because this fight's going to be
Absolutely.
awesome.
This is a barn burner.
ESPN's like $6 is like $6 too. It's not
$6
bad.
a month. Yeah, but I mean it's full price for the pay-per-view.
Oh, so you got.
So I think there's a deal on there for about $90. You can get ESPN Plus for a year and the pay-per-view.
Oh, that's not bad.
So
Yeah,
not
it's not
terrible.
bad. If you're watching sports,
That's the only sport back.
yeah. If you want to watch a blood sport,
So we're talking about fights at least for the next 2 weeks, 4 events here at Yaz Island. And that's where they're trying to, the UFC is trying to get all of their international fighters to be able to fight, because basically they said if we keep fighting at the Apex in Vegas, which is where their current setup is here in America, that they'll burn through all their American talent. So it's really important for them to be able to have this and be able to get some of these international fighters in there. Now, this fight was supposed to happen in Perth Arena in Australia, and that's where the Alexander Volkanovski kind of thing comes in, just because he's from that side of the world. And so, dude, 6 days notice. Because Gilbert Burns dropped out due to COVID-19, Jorge Masvidal steps up to get his first crack. And that's, I think, one of the most crazy things to me is that this is his first crack at the belt.
And that probably has a good part of it.
He's been around a long time.
And he took it. I think this is a good chance for him. I think, like we're saying, I think it's only positive. I think if he wins, he looks amazing. He looks like he's untouchable.
Right. His last fight was with Nate Diaz, and they've always talked about running him back. I mean, he's talking about his first, title defense. If he beats Kamaru, it's going to be Nate Diaz again.
Oh, Jesus.
So to be able to run that, I mean, he's going in there to win.
Hell yeah.
There's no doubt. His ass is eating pizza on the plane to Abu Dhabi, 21 pounds overweight. And that's the thing, too. It's like, who knows what kind of, what that's going to take out of it. 5-round fight in the main event, versus
awesome.
Kamaru, who's at a full training camp, trained for Gilbert Burns, who is very much so. Gilbert Burns is a phenomenal. He's a beast on the ground.
Mm-hmm. But this is the complete opposite.
This is a complete opposite.
So you've done camps that have nothing to do with Masvidal.
So as much as we're all about Jorge Masvidal, you know what I mean? Him going in there and taking the fight, being a fucking man, dude, you got to give some respect to Kamaru for accepting it and doing the same thing.
Yeah. I think it's fantastic. Let's do that. So start from the top. Basically, just give us your winners.
Yeah.
And,
We'll start with the Volkan Ozdemir versus Jimmy, crazy ass name, versus Jiri Prochanska. I'm gonna go with Jiri on this one.
Okay.
Just because I think him coming out, his first fight in the UFC, being the champion from another organization, I think is very, very interesting. Then you move to the Amanda Ribas versus Paige Van Zandt, and that's the big boy as far as any kind of money making. Super, super upset involved. Obviously, I'm going to have to go with Amanda there. Jessica Andrade versus Rose Namajunas. I'm going Rose. I think even though Jessica's got a win over, I think that if it goes the 3 rounds and Rose finds a way to not get taken down, that she just pieces her up on the feet. Peter Yan versus Jose Aldo. I'm going with Peter Yan here. I just think he's younger. I think he's the future of the division, even though Jose is an absolute legend and a beast. I just think Peter Yan with his boxing is just going to be just too much. The footwork in the boxing is going to be too much for Jose. I think that one's going to actually end up in a knockout. Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway. The rematch. I'm going to go Alexander Volkanovski again by decision. Unless Alex just finds a way. I think Alex just has more tools to put Max out all the way, even though I'm a huge, huge fan of Max. I think he's going to go with those leg kicks again, and I think he's going to take it into deep waters, and I think he'll be a little more prepared for that, especially with, if we take Max at his word by saying that he hasn't had any kind of a fucking training camp to speak of.
Why's he talking shit, though?
He's really not. He's not talking shit.
I don't like that he's saying that, because if he wins, he's going to be like, I didn't even train.
Right.
Fuck you, dude. You trained.
I don't know that he needs to anymore. The man's a beast.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will. And that's what's great about this sport, And then in the main event, Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. As much as I would love to see Jorge become, to have his legend grow, I think the wrestling from Kamaru and the pace that Kamaru will be able to put on Jorge, considering the 6-day notice, I just think Kamaru's going to be able to drag him into the deep waters in the 4th and 5th round and just work him. So, I'm going with Kamaru in the main event.
All right, so that is Ryan's picks for this weekend. We are definitely educated. Charles and I have no idea what goes on in these kind of things.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, we want to thank Ryan for being here. He is, like you're saying, much more educated than we are.
I was very quiet during the body of that. I was just thinking.
Yeah.
I took it all in. Now I'm the UFC expert.
You are.
You guys don't need me anymore.
Yeah.
So thanks for the first and only appearance on the podcast.
Who's the main event? I don't know. But I know who's going to win once I see it happening because I'm the expert.
Okay, so the first fight, Charles and I are going to bet so everybody knows the bet when Charles loses. He can't deny it. So, Usman versus Masvidal. I'm going to take Masvidal.
I like you taking him because Kamaru, good name, and a big old square head, man.
Healthy head.
Just
it ain't healthy.
That's that steroid. It's like Dana White. His head has grown like 50% since. What kind of steroids are you taking for your head to fucking
the
grow?
best?
Ex-Barry Bonds.
That's awesome.
The second fight, co-main event, is going to be Volkanovski
versus Max Holloway. So that's going to be a rematch. Both of them have just coming off of fighting each other. So
beautiful.
We got a little pick 'em there.
I'm taking Holloway just because.
I'm gonna take the Russian 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, dude.
It's definitely Australian.
Is he? Volkanovski's Australian?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Definitely both.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
I'll take him if you want.
No, I still like him. He's got some Russian blood.
Oh, I doubt it. He's probably drank some Russian blood.
Definitely.
And then we have Petre.
Peter. Or however the fuck he pronounced it.
Peter Yan versus Jose Aldo.
So he is coming out of Russia.
I'm taking Yan.
Okay, good. I like Jose Aldo. He's got
Jose's
creepy little mustache.
Oh, I hate the way
I
he
like
looks.
that.
Then we have Thug Rose Namajunas versus Jessica Andrade. I'm going to go Andrade.
Yeah, that's a
Ooh.
good pick.
All right.
That's a huge bitch.
He said that's a good pick.
And she's huge.
And then we
She'd
have...
kick my ass. Not fight me. She would murder me. Just want to make that clear.
Bathe in your
there's
blood.
no need to make that clear.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
would kill you.
I was just trying to make
She's
clear
a
that I
trained
didn't
killer.
think I could fight her.
Yeah.
It would not be a fight. It would be like a ass whooping.
Yeah, 100%. So crazy thing. This is the craziest fight of the night. Paige Van Zant and Amanda Ribas. Amanda Ribas is minus 1,000, and Paige Van Zant is plus 650.
Holy moly.
I'm gonna take Paige Van Zant just because I like Dancing with the Stars.
There you go.
And yeah, well, I gotta give you something, dude.
Okay. So I got Rose, Amanda, Jose, Alexander, and Kamaru. I'm happy with that.
We got the one. We've got
Volkan
Volkanovski,
and versus Jiri Prozinski.
something like that.
I'm gonna take Prozinski in this one.
Yeah, there you go.
He doesn't have a picture on the thing I'm looking at, so I don't want him.
You
That's
want
a
the
lot
bald
of
guy.
free testosterone. Yeah.
Anyways, that's our bets.
We never discussed what was on the line here.
What's on the line for Charles is if he loses this bet Saturday, I actually ordered a Carolina Reaper pepper
Hey yo,
that I am looking forward to Charles eating.
let's
That's
do it.
horseshit.
Because first off, I have to wear a damn bikini in Gulf Shores,
Yeah.
and I have to drink a gallon of 2% milk.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Fucking
throw
nightmare. Oh, dude, I'm gonna throw up regardless of the milk. It doesn't matter if I'm drinking milk or not.
Right.
I don't like ghost
I
pepper,
ordered a
fucking raw
$17 pepper.
It's made out of lava.
God, that's gonna fuck me up for like a pooping is just gonna be.
I don't want you to eat the whole thing. Just a
nightmare.
nibble. Just a bite, really.
Yeah. I'm not trying to mess up your asshole from now on.
Dude.
He's going to lose.
I don't know what I'm gonna make you do if you lose.
You're running out of ideas at this
I've
point.
already done 2 in a row now. I'm getting tapped out.
Yeah, you're a veteran at this point.
Well, no, we'll see. We'll see. I'll think of something good for Dylan.
Yeah. Well, I'm too drunk to taste this chicken. Goodbye.